Well, hello, my beautiful Gemini. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of October, right through the end of November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together. Also, it is worth noting that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That is more likely to be a false flame connection, and it really will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time, okay? Now, I don't know if you noticed, but every time the Gaia chime went over this particular deck, it changed the energy of the sound and the pace. So perhaps there's something that will come out in that deck that will change a perspective in some way. But let's get straight to your cards. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome there. But your first card there is the cross. You found this relationship really challenging. You've sacrificed a lot for this union. Ooh, I would like to receive. Okay. And I feel there's an energy here that you feel like you cannot trust this person to be reliable when it comes to a relationship dynamic. So a lot of you are perhaps thinking about removing your energy from this person. You may feel it's over. You may feel that you are now sacrificing the union in order to prioritize yourself. I feel, it's important to recognize the cross indicates a lot of sorrow, a lot of suffering in this connection. The twin flame dynamic is a very challenging relationship, and I want you to be aware that, this relationship, whilst at the beginning it is passionate, intense, romantic, it is all-consuming, it's a love like no other, it actually serves a purpose. The twin flame dynamic is more of a spiritual awakening. It is a twin flame activated connection that is about accepting your spiritual awakening. And this has to be accepted first before you connect to your twin. It's about spinning yourself off to your true life mission and calling. And of course, activating self-love, unconditional self-love there as well before you can have a sustainable relationship. So this particular dynamic, there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. And it's not always typical to form, but it tends to be the norm. And, I always say, do not wait for your twin because they have a path towards discovering themselves, and it could take weeks, months, years, decades. Always get busy living and focus on your own needs because that is the dynamic requirement, shall we say, before both of you can change the frequencies within yourself in order to come home to each other. Now, it is a practical relationship, rather. It's kind of like a process that prepares us to release lower vibrational energy that keeps either party stuck in fear, unhealthy attachments, addictive patterns, and sometimes there's other dynamics like self-loathing, a feeling of not being worthy for love, codependency, trust issues, abandonment issues. So there can be so many challenges that need to be overcome in a twin flame dynamic. It'll be specific to your twin flame dynamic. Of course, they're not all the same there, but it is a very intense inner vibrational transformation. It changes you, and it changes you at your core. And it's a personal journey of discovery, and one that must be done alone. That's why there is that separation period, because you're meant to discover your true purpose, your true mission, and embrace unconditional love for self. And only then can the reunion process take place and be sustainable. Now, I always say it's important to recognize that the twin flame dynamic is a mirrored experience. So when you look at your twin, fear will be amplified, especially in areas that have been left unhealed. Their job is to trigger certain areas within you. It doesn't have to be fear, but it can be that, it's an obstacle of some sort, something that perhaps you experienced before you even met your twin that was hard, that you struggled with, trauma, challenge, heartbreak, sadness, whatever it is, it cannot go amiss. It has to be uncovered. So those emotions will be amplified within the dynamic in order to heal. So when your twin looks at you, they're looking in that mirror of all the things within themselves that they've been running away from their whole life, or are not even conscious of at some point. So it's about illuminating a path of kind of getting out of your own way, but also focusing on your sense of purpose and really learning to love oneself at the very core, so that you can actually offer love to your divine counterpart, because you cannot love another person if you do not love yourself. And, this is a mirrored experience. It's projected feelings into a relationship that often means people try to stay in their safe zone, their comfort zone. And the twin flame dynamic thrusts you so far out of the comfort zone that it feels overwhelming. Now, the chaser tends to be the one who's willing to open up and surrender to the union. And the runner, they get avoidant, or they protect themselves in order to limit any pain or further trauma based on previous experiences. I'll check in to see what your person is doing right now. I mean, you're both in the rite of passage period. I can see that. I always describe twin flames like magnets, both identical in frequency. You share the same energetic frequency at the core of you. And basically, two magnets that are identical in polarities, they attract each other, but also repel each other. There is that space in between. It serves a purpose so that both magnets remain separate and change the frequency within themselves. And only then can they come together in a match and not repel each other or push each other away. And changing the frequency, of course, is a spiritual awakening. I can see that your person's going through that right now. I can see that they are leaning into their softness. I can see that they're opening up their heart. I feel, especially with that Four of Wands there, not only are they coming home to self, but they're going to ask you for a reunion. That's something that's very clear there. This person thinks about you a lot, especially just before bed. Not just, I want you to be aware of, not just in a kinky way. I feel this person really thinks about love, about settling down, about sharing their life, and what it is that they fear. Because the Four of Swords can indicate that this person was very hurt before you met them. This person was in recovery in some way. I feel like they're now facing whatever this is. And I feel like you and your person, you have a choice. In your future, it's kind of like make or break. There's going to be a pinnacle point where you come together and say, are we going to commit to this? Are we all in? Is this serious? Are we going to do this? Or are we going to remain independent there? Okay, so that's something that's coming through. Now, my guides just gave me a peek at the bottom here, Three of Swords. And that, of course, indicates with the Four of Swords with your person, this person was wounded. Now, I'm not here to give any excuses or free passes. I'm here to understand both sides of the energy so I can understand the outcome. People make their choices, and they must take account for their choices and be responsible for the consequences of any actions that they may take. So everyone needs to step up. I feel there will be a very honest, open conversation with you and your person in the future, but it really is a case of should we do this or should we not? Can we work this out? Can we overcome the obstacle or not? So there will be that decision point. But your card here is the Cross. This has been hard. It's been challenging. I feel for some of you, there may be a religious factor in this dynamic that's playing out there. My readings are not about religion, but it could be a factor because, of course, it is an iconic image regarding religious emblems, for example. So please apply it to your situation if that is the case. I feel this person's deep in thought about that, and I feel like they are wanting to be happy. They just want to come home to their heart. So I feel like they're not going to make it a factor, but it may have been something they wrestled with at first. But I'm going to remove myself from this energy. Perhaps it's something you also wrestled with, but I feel this is something that you and your person can overcome, is something that I'm seeing there. But more than anything, I feel this card is like, there's a lot of sorrow. You know, I feel both of you are very hurt people right now based on what went down in this connection. And this can indicate that, you may feel that this person actually sacrificed the union for something else, whether it was ambition or whether it was family, okay? For some of you, it could be that they are a carer, that they sacrifice love in order to give themselves to the family unit, because there's something here about home, okay? But you may feel that this person, that there was love, that, you know, you and this person were falling in love. You were deep in love with each other. And you may be both questioning, is it love, is it lust? But you're both coming back to the same answer, which is there's something special here. There's a bond. But I feel like there's this energy of you feeling betrayed by this connection. Now, I'm not saying this person cheated on you or there's a betrayal there. I mean, Four of Swords, whoever I'm picking up on, Four of Swords means this person's alone. Okay, they're very protective of their heart. They have been in recovery from something. And I feel either it's from a substance or whether it's from heartbreak or sadness or loss, grieving. There's something here. I feel there is actually a sadness in their family lineage here. So this could be some sort of loss from a very young age. I'm not being shown that right now until I get to their energy. But the Four of Wands, I feel like they do want to be happy. And you make them happy. I feel they chose to kind of like be independent or have fun because things got too real for this person. And you are a sign of duality, my beautiful Gemini, so you kind of understand that. But at the same time, you did not want to sacrifice this union. You wanted to advance this union. You are protecting yourself here with that Eight of Wands. You've waited a long time for this person to step up. I feel like you are frustrated. It doesn't seem to be advancing in the way that you hope for. So I feel there's this energy of you wanting to move on, but it is a self-preservation mode. You are the sort of person who's like, I don't wait for anybody. I waited too long because I thought we were onto something. I thought we could make it work. But right now it just feels like there's a shift within you where you're done. You can't do this anymore. I feel a lot of you are trying to like work through this relationship, your beliefs about this relationship. You may feel that, of course, you're let down by this person, but there's an obstacle. And it feels like the obstacle is so much in the way that both of you right now are struggling to get past this. So you are realizing, especially with that Eight of Wands there, that there has to be change. And therefore, that means that you are the catalyst for change. This Eight of Wands indicates you want to move on from this. It feels like if you don't change, nothing will change, and you do not accept it at its present form, you're done, okay? You know, the Eight of Wands is an energy of this happened real quick. Both of you were like intensely linked. There was a bond like no other. It was passionate. You know, you thought though that you were building something and it was transforming both of you. But I feel like you both started to move into new territory about emotions. And this person, they shut down. They got scared. I got to find out why. But I actually feel that either you met this person and it was going too quick because they just come out of something, or they were hurt and they hadn't processed a wound. This person, you know, there is a lot of sorrow. And I feel it's on both sides. And it could be triggered because both of you are now feeling that it's such a shame that you're at this position where both of you kind of wanted to be with each other. But sadness can be a cloud that hangs over a relationship that completely drains the power in the relationship. It blurs your vision to the happiness of what you both aspire to achieve in the future. And I feel that you've been there for this person, you protected this person, you offered sanctuary to this person, but the cloud of sadness hangs over this person, whatever it is, and it has clouded their vision. I feel as a protective measure, they got comfortable with uncertainty, like they didn't deserve happiness. And I feel, you know, this is someone who's withdrawn from happiness, withdrawn from connection. And there's always a reason behind that. I got to find that out there. With this Eight of Wands, I feel like you're looking to the future and you can't wait around forever. So I feel with all those umbrellas, which tend to represent protection, I feel like you're elevating your frequency. You're actually being the catalyst for change in the relationship. You're certainly not giving to this anymore. A lot of you are like, it's done. You know, you may feel that you've given everything and you can't give any more to this. So your only option right now is to move forward and not look back. And I feel there's a part of you that's like, watch me leave. I feel like you've gone silent on this. You know, you've waited for results for a long time. This person was your world. But as you can see, this figure is sitting on top of the house. You and this person, you know, you got so close, but you didn't get to the point where you moved into the house together or felt stable in the relationship. You always felt like there was rocky footing, or you always felt like it wasn't quite connecting in some way. And that Two of Wands, it means you thought about a future with this person, and that, you know, now your dreams of being with this person have changed, and it's now trusting in the unknown, kind of working out like, should I wait? Should I go? You know, these two cards are opposing energies within yourself, and probably because you are a sign of duality, my beautiful Gemini, there's part of you that's like, leave, run. I mean, I feel a lot of you are becoming the runner. Remember the magnets. As soon as you put all that care, love, devotion, energy on your path, you withdraw. And as soon as you do that, it's not a game, it's an energetic exchange. You change your frequency. And I feel like you're changed right now. And that is going to, you know, connect to your person and change their frequency. And you come together eventually in a match. But the frequencies must change. And I feel like something within you is done. And you're withdrawn. Two of Wands means you're not giving to this. I feel like you've messaged this person. I feel you may have even messaged against your better judgment. There's this energy here of you wanted to be really strict and not reach out, but you may have sent that message and it may not have, you know, yielded the results that you wanted. You may feel that the message, you know, that got sent back was not what you wanted to hear or had no substance to it. This person's being very cagey, inconsistent, or some of you didn't get a message back, okay? With this Two of Wands, of course, that's not acceptable, but I feel now it is kind of forced you to withdraw into self, to focus on what you want for your future and your world, and that is a twin flame dynamic, okay? I feel like you're the sort of person who goes above and beyond for everybody. You're an overgiver. You're someone who is learning to readdress the balance. 8 is the number of the self. I feel like a lot of you in relationships, because you do not fall in love easily, but when you do, there is an acknowledgement that you are all in and you give all of yourself. It's almost like some of you may lose yourself in relationships, and you're learning about independence and not, you know, losing yourself in a relationship. It's very important to retain your sense of identity. Of course, you're blurring the lines when it comes to love. You know, you're so connected to this person, but 8 indicates, you know, you need to come home to self. You need to prioritize your own needs. And that's what you're doing right now. And you may feel that by prioritizing your own needs and stepping back from this is somehow sacrificing the union, but it's not. It's actually the catalyst for change that this union needs. Because when you withdraw, erect healthier boundaries, it teaches another person about your boundaries, but also it changes the frequency within you. You elevate spiritually. This indicates you're elevating. Some of you, that cross can represent spirituality, or you're connected more to your sense of faith. And the Two of Wands is like you've waited a long time. So, you know, you're seeking stability. You want a relationship that is long-term, someone that you can rely on no matter what goes down. And I feel right now you feel this person is not the person, because they have taught you that, you know, their silence is abandonment. Their silence, because the Four of Swords is someone who's not talking, not engaging. It feels like that they have, abandoned you or let you down. And I feel that at first it may have been panic mode, that they're detaching in some way. But actually, I feel like you're over that period now. And now you're just looking at the carnage of what's left in the connection. And you're feeling very uncertain. This figure is literally looking at the moon there. But I feel that the only certainty is you right now. So you're turning that energy back into yourself, and that's the catalyst for change. It's so important people realize in the twin flame dynamic that you are the magnet. You need to change your frequency. You're not changing it for your other person, you're changing it for you. And when you elevate, that changes your whole world. Doesn't just change your twin flame dynamic. So I feel like you are coming back to your center, finding more stability in your life. And I feel that there's definitely some sort of trauma that has perhaps gone on here. For some of you, you may have even wondered whether it was a trauma bond. I feel these lessons that you learned from these experiences shaped who you are. And I feel like there's love here. It's not just a trauma bond. I want you to be aware of that. And I feel that there is this energy of hypervigilance based on previous sorrowful experiences. So both of you are like not looking for validation from each other, but felt so comfortable within each other that you then feared to lose each other, and it kind of triggered a lot of things and it amplified. And this person, I feel more than anything, they needed to learn unconditional love for self, because this person with that Four of Swords energy, this person, oh, I'm hearing an incredible song right now. So many violins playing and cellos. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a very famous song, and it has come up before in a reading. I'm not sure if it was for your sign, but it's definitely come up before. I'm so aware of it. It's a beautiful song, but I'm being given certain lyrics. Actually, it's hurting my head. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but suddenly it's like, I'm getting this sense of pressure with emotions. Maybe that's how you're feeling, that this relationship is a bit of a headache sometimes. Okay, I'm just being given, I am lost in a rainbow. Now, our rainbow is gone. To tell you that I love you, I am lost. I am lost. Okay. True chills all over. You may hear this song over the next coming weeks or months, just before you hear from this person, because they want to reunite. At the core of them is a reunion card. Four of Wands, look up the meanings of cards. You know, this is coming home to self first before asking for a reunion, okay, and learning to love oneself. So this person, I feel like they may have been hurt before, because there's definitely some sort of healing or recovery in their energy that they needed to process. But I feel they realized, especially with the lyrics, that the love that you two share is rare. But as you can imagine, like a rainbow is needing certain ingredients, rain and sun, right? And rain represents releasing pressure or sorrow, tears, and sun is joy and happiness. And I feel the joy that you both share with each other, it kind of spotlights things that need to be healed in order to really create that bond, so that nothing gets in the way of the union. And I feel this person, there's something here at the core of them. I need to find out what it is, but they couldn't get past it. You know, I feel like I'm looking at two people who are like, I loved and lost. We've sacrificed this. It's not that you both messed it up. I don't feel that way at all. I feel like this person, they withdrew, and this is you dealing with the fallout. This is you dealing with the repercussions of this. You want them to be honest, take account for this. And some of you with that cross, you may be wondering, can you like resurrect this relationship? Well, the answer is yes. There is going to be an opportunity, a make or break moment in your future. But the Four of Swords, this person is shut down. They're not talking. I've got two people at a stalemate, waiting, watching, hoping. But I feel that hope is diminishing there. And of course, we've got this person who is looking for a sign, looking for omens, and all the signs and omens. And this person's going to tell you, everywhere I look, there is a sign pointing me back to you. And I feel like they are noticing the signs, they're questioning the signs, they're acknowledging that they have love for you, and the signs are pointing home to you. You feel like home to them. And I feel with this four, because they're both in their four energies, because they're both four cards, so it indicates that, you know, they're in a frequency where they are not quite thinking 100% of themselves, but they are kind of like ruminating on a past hurt to process so they can find unconditional love for self. I mean, obviously, if you add up double four, it's 8, but they're just not quite there. They're working things out, trying to make sense of things. That's what a Four of Swords normally means. Someone who heals, recuperates, is almost like getting bored of their own decisions as well. So I just need to see what's at the core. Why this person stepped back? Can you show me? Ace of Pentacles. It was something new. They felt like they were not ready for it. They saw you as a gift. Oof. We have the Knight of Pentacles there, and we've got the King of Cups. You offered a love like no other, and they were focused on their projects. I feel this person is loyal. So if you're questioning loyalty, I feel this person has not cheated on you. Whoever I'm picking up on, no cheating going on in this. But I feel that this person definitely not looking for love. Also, you know, I feel this person may have chosen a path of just focusing on their work or their projects because that's what they clung to. And it was their sanctuary during their period of challenge or sadness or sorrow, okay? And they felt that love would just complicate it or it would be chaotic. That's what I'm seeing there. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is an energy of perseverance, trying to push on through, trying to, you know, dedicate themselves to finding a way to feel comfortable with their emotions. King of Cups normally means someone who protects their emotions, someone who is very deep, someone who is non-judgmental, someone who is very sensitive. And I feel there is this moment of like feeling overwhelmed, but also this person may sometimes seek advice from others and not necessarily get the best advice, but it clouds their judgment is what I'm being given. I'm just going to go one more. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. This Four of Swords, why is it there? What hurt this person? Two of Swords, Knight of Swords. I feel like this person was connected to somebody who left them hanging. And perhaps this is a perpetuating cycle here. Two of Swords indicates like a stalemate. I feel like they had just come out of something when they met you. That's the main energy I'm getting here. And this person, every time they thought they were over this person, because I feel like this person is moving on or has moved on from the actual person. It's the wound that remains and has shaped who this person is. But I feel when you first met this person, it's like, I'm just getting an energy. It's like maybe an ex reached out just when they met you and it kind of spun them out. I feel like this person just hadn't got closure on it. They didn't want to be with their ex. They just wanted to know why they were so monumentally betrayed in the union. Because I feel there's a potential here that this person has been betrayed. Okay, because there is an energy in and around this twin flame dynamic regarding this. And the Two of Swords, it made them stuck. You know, I feel this person, they can't stop thinking about it. It pushed them into a stalemate position. I mean, I love this deck. It's a beautiful card. Lots of wonderful colors there. But the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot pictorially gives you more of an indication of what that card means. And there is a figure who is sitting on a calm shore. The waters are calm. You know, there is a process to get to the new island in the background. You know, it basically means they're in uncharted territory. There's stepping stones to get there. There's no threat. And yet they have two swords protecting themselves. This person was going inwards. They were focusing on themselves. They were not looking for love, but they weren't processing the pain. They shut down. They were in a period of feeling like still or shocked in some way. And I feel that they were adapting to a new pace of life with that Knight of Swords. I feel this person, they knew that they needed to get out there and kind of like meet new people and move on, but the pain kept them stuck. Because no one gets a Four of Swords unless they've experienced the three. It tells me that something challenging went on and this person was not ready for love. They had not created a foundation, you know, to face their fears. Because this figure is literally sleeping on the moon. The moon is all about fears, worries, anxieties, the unknown, the hidden deceptions, you know. So it can be that this person, they just needed a rest from love, from relationships, from the potential that someone could let them down. And actually, love doesn't work that way. Love is something that finds you when you are perhaps looking in another direction. The path that you choose to like follow in order to avoid love, love will find you on it. And I feel this person was on that path to avoid love, because Four of Swords can be a card of like, I don't want to engage. They didn't get closure. they were getting closure. So it wasn't quite done yet. And I feel that just when they were getting closure, not quite there yet, but then suddenly I feel whoever this person is, an ex reached out to them and spun them out. Now this person, I feel like they conversed with them, but there was no physical interaction because there's a lot of swords here, which tends to mean dialogue and just working things out, trying to make sense of things. But this person with the Knight of Swords, they were so much looking forward to their future, never looking back. Knight of Swords never looks back. They may be shaped by their experience. They may seek to understand, but they're not going back. But this person felt they couldn't offer you love in that moment because it wouldn't be fair. And of course, what is the alternative? Step away from the union and cause pain in that way, or allow their wounds to damage the relationship, connect to you, and kind of like wreak havoc with their fears. And I feel this person didn't know which one to do, so they withdrew in order to protect themselves. And, you know, sometimes people ask, look, if a twin flame really loves you, why don't they just tell you? Why don't they just say how they feel? But when anybody who's hurt goes through something, I mean, first off, loving a broken person or someone who's had a lot of trauma and challenge, I mean, they're not broken. They're not a victim. However, their expectations have been shattered. Let's put it that way instead, okay? It's hard. It requires patience, which you have, you know, offered this person a sanctuary of love, care, devotion. You know, twin flames, they need to learn unconditional love for self, but also, you know, this card comes off the back of trauma. And trauma basically damages the nervous system in a way where a person is hypervigilant. So they actually feel like they're in fight or flight mode, like anything could present a threat to the relationship because they've experienced that. They've had it before. So this person, it's like they've been in fight or flight. Look, all the feathers are there. They took flight. They didn't fight. They're fighting themselves. So I feel this person just needed to go, I can't do this. And that was a self-preservation mode. But of course, it damaged the connection in the union. And you may feel like they sacrificed it, but they feel like they protected themselves. Both people are protecting. So you and your person are protecting. And deep at the core of them, you know, deep at the core of you as well, it's like you really deep down want to wait for this, or you want to see results in this. You want to see this person step up. You saw a future with this person and they are your whole world. You wanted to settle down. You want to build a life with this person. And deep down, they want to reunite with you. This card is about inviting you somewhere. So I feel like you're going to hear from this person. They're going to reach out. They're going to invite you. And I feel like this person, they want to celebrate the fact that you're in their life or that they met you, but it's more than that. I mean, this is the engagement card, okay? So this can indicate they thought long and hard about getting engaged to you, building a house with you. I mean, look at the two cards you got. There's people standing on top of the house. It's like both of you really want to settle down. You want to be with each other. You want to feel stable and secure in a relationship. However, both of you are sitting on top of the house, not inside the house. So both of you don't feel secure in this relationship at this moment in time, and you feel it's going to be a process, but it's something you both desire, you have a need for, but also you both need to retain your sense of independence. So there may be codependency at the core of this, or a need for control, a need to know through validation that the relationship is secure and safe to love, and that will just come with time, but also with action, not just words, with action. You've got those two little birds there. It means a lot of lights there as well. This person's awakening that they can have a relationship and also be free and retain their sense of independence. You can have a bond with a person and be with each other for the rest of your lives, right? But you can still retain your sense of independence as to who you are, not lose yourself in the union. And I feel both of you are very independent there and not wanting to, you know, lose yourselves in this, but also lose yourselves in this, if that makes sense, because it is intoxicating and it is otherworldly. Now, we do have the outcome as the fish. Now, this connects to the Page of Cups energy. There's often a fish that pops out of nowhere in that cup, and it means the dream of love can become a reality. So both of you, I feel you do want the same thing. The fish in the outcome energy, I mean, this card connects to being in the flow, but also freedom as well as stability. And, you know, this is about investment. It's often a card that connects to wealth. And wealth is knowledge. Wealth does not have to be about money. It can be investment in a secure future. This is a card that indicates both of you can be really serious about each other and commit. This is a card of commitment here. And I feel that, you know, there's an energy here of like being responsible for each other's emotions, taking accountability, having a really like mature conversation about your future, and, you know, this sense of duty and loyalty to each other, because it's there. This card would not show up if it was not there. So I feel that this is an indication that both of you are concerned that you are set to sacrifice this union unless you kind of face stuff. Because the alternative is the Nine of Pentacles, to be free, to be independent, to not be bonded to another. Because this is a card of commitment, settling down, building a life with someone, investing in a future, blossoming together. And this is a card of being independent, being wild, being free, still wanting a connection, because I still see here that both of you are magnetized towards each other. But it's like, which one will you choose? I mean, you'll both decide. The overarching energy, it tells me that you're choosing love, whatever that means. So this could be that your conversations around getting married or, you know, living with each other may be a little bit unique, a little bit different from other people, but you'll come to some sort of resolution within yourselves that suits you both. Because it does look like, and I'm going to pull another card on this, you know, the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles is basically commitment or independence. Which one shall we choose? And love really wants to save the day on this. But you need to overcome some obstacles. This person is in a healing process. They're not there yet. Got to be honest with you. That card would not show up there. They do want to reunite with you, but I feel that this person is still very cautious, and so are you. You feel this person is flighty. It's like, how can I trust now? How can I build a life with you knowing that you've left before, that you've withdrawn, that you haven't opened up? Four Wands. I just wanted to see, well, there's definitely a reunion in your future. You will definitely see each other again, is what I'm seeing there in this reading. That's literally what this card means, to reunite, to be invited to something. This person is going to reach out. Okay, so I would say when you meet each other, yes, there's going to be some very serious conversations, but I feel more than anything, you just enjoy living in each other's company. And this card, it is, as I said, an engagement card. So this can indicate that you and this person can work towards settling down, getting engaged, or building a life with each other. But I feel something needs to be talked about or faced right now. Your person, there's something perhaps they're not saying. It's something connected to their home life, especially their upbringing. Maybe their parents or guardians divorced or separated there. But I feel there's something here that perhaps has not come out in this reading, that they will only tell you in private, something that I'm not allowed to see, because Four Swords is someone who's closed off, as well as healing and getting closure on something, someone who's feeling very uncertain. I feel this person is lost, but there is love there. I feel that this person will tell you that. They do fear losing you. But let's get to your final. Oh my gosh, look at that. You could have got any card in this deck. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm loving this because all these cards are so different, right? What if you don't accept me for who I really am? I don't want to lose you. You mean the world to me. No one makes me feel the way you do. I miss you. There's even cards in there that say, I can't do this. I need time. Be patient with me. And of course, you've been very patient. But I said, they keep seeing signs everywhere they go. And they keep pointing to you. They want to come home to you. And you literally got two cards about signs. It says here, I keep seeing signs of you everywhere I go. I mean, that's validation and clarity right there. I see signs of you everywhere I go. I didn't even know that there were two cards like this in the deck, because of all the times that I've done a reading, I think this is the first time that one of these cards has even come out, and you got the both of them. So this is their omen to highlight that they've been doing a lot of questioning, soul searching. Their feelings are real, But based on their sorrow, pain, or the trauma, or whatever it is this person is going to tell you, it's almost like they've talked themselves out of their feelings or avoided their feelings because they just didn't want to be hurt again. And you don't want to be hurt, but you feel this person let you down. So there is like a muddle of emotions going on right now that both of you can unpick for your future. And finally, I miss holding you. And I feel like they really do. Really, I feel like they do. And the message you're probably going to receive from this person is, I keep seeing signs of you everywhere, reminding me of you. And they're like, can we just meet up? And I just heard you're the one. So maybe they're going to message you that as well. You're the one. And I feel like they always knew that, but they needed to learn to love themselves first, because you cannot love another person if you do not love yourself. So, and sometimes sorrow, sadness, trauma can make you question yourself, and it can like trigger self-loathing, pain, hurt. So I feel this person, they are working their way towards you again. So we've got the musical notes. So this can indicate that, of course, both of you are fine-tuning your frequencies, you're elevating in frequency, the vibration is changing, and therefore you are coming into sync with each other's soul song. Listen for the song, my guide said. Listen for the song. That song will play before they message you. And also, we've got a key. Now, I've just been given this by my guides, okay, which is, okay, I'm just contemplating what they said. Old keys cannot open new locks. Okay, so this can indicate that this person has been in a pattern of repeat something from their past. It's like they have to acknowledge that you're a new person, requires, you know, a new way of feeling, acting, recognizing they're not going to repeat a cycle. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to ruminate on that message that my guys just gave me there. But I feel like you and this person, you hold the key to each other's hearts. Perhaps it means that, you know, you and your person, you will go over new ground with each other, but you must dissect the old ground and unlock that, because you want to push forward. You want to be together, but you can't do that unless you've unlocked the past or processed it. So the new key cannot be granted for your future until both of you process something within yourselves and unlock it. And then it's your aha moment. That is the death card key, which means transition, change, transformation, and something best to come in your future. So I would say there's a reunion here, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Gemini. Thank you so much, and love and light.